Hey everybody, I just wanted to do a quick video that may not end up being a quick video. All I wanted to say was, how beautiful is this? Look, I don't wash my engine bay down often, contrary to, you look at it and you go, it's pretty good. Look, something I do, I try and stay out of the dust, okay, which works pretty well. Keep a distance from the vehicle behind you. Just be mindful of the dust for so many reasons, really. All your filters, air filters, cabin filters, and the whole vehicle. I don't play in mud and bug holes and all that. I don't like it. Mud equals money. I've got money to waste, I suppose, but I don't want to waste money, right? But I don't wash the engine bay every week or every month, or maybe even every year. I just gave this a quick wash down, not a big one. And quite often I might do I might wash down the batteries, or if I do the fuel, I might give that area a wash, and just little areas sort of thing. So I'm not flooding and degreasing the hell out of the engine bay, but if I do use degreaser, and we've got some videos on how to wash your engine bay, just go on our YouTube channel and put those words in the search bar, where the magnifying glass is, wash engine, and search, and you'll find a few videos. Watch them all and you'll get some tips on what you can do and what you can't, and it works for me, and I don't have any problems. I don't have any problems with any components getting wet. Everything's fully waterproof, although I do recommend some precautions. In this video, I'm not going to be going on about how to wash the engine bay. I just want to say I did give it a quick wash. And why did I give it a quick wash? Well, it was on the beach in Queensland, a bit of salt spray. It was out there for a full day, plus I've been along the Queensland coast for the last couple of weeks, so spray and all that sort of thing. So of course you wash the car, you wash around your wheel arches, you wash underneath because you've been on the beach, but under the engine bay probably gets neglected because it's hidden away, but it still gets that salt air, possible spray off things. So I just want to give it a good rinse down. So a nice light degreaser with a Kenko. I didn't leave it on there too long at all. I do not want to let that stuff dry on an engine or paintwork or any components. Just enough to get the dust and that light bit of oil. We do have a situation, if you watch the videos, it really pays to watch all the videos, because I spent about, I reckon it was 40 bucks, 50 bucks replacing this cap because there was a sweat at the reservoir and you can't buy the gasket. So I replaced that whole cap, and it's much better than the old one, but it still gets a sweat already. So maybe it's actually leaking at the seam here as well. So I'll monitor that. Bit of degreaser on there to give that a good clean up. Well, then you can see everything's good, clean condition for your maintenance checks. Everything's good, there's no leaks. You can see your hoses, they're in good condition. Original hoses at nearly 500,000 Ks, 17, 18 years. Found a big Huntsman yesterday, got him off the vehicle. I'll tell you, no good for him on this vehicle. It's way too clean. There's not enough cobwebs and bugs ever gonna be on it. So the old compressor that blew up that got rebuilt, we've got a video on that. The K&N filters, how it keeps your engine cleaner and running better because it doesn't block up. We've got a video on that. Regularly clean your MAF sensor so you don't end up running rich. Got stories on that. Brake fluid flush been done many times. It's a bit discolored because at one stage it did have the blue stuff in there, and like I said, it only takes a little bit to what's the word? There's a word, there's that word again. I know the word I want. To not contaminate. It's when you got a little bit of something and it spreads to the rest. It only takes a little bit, because this little bit in the reservoir doesn't come out. So each time I do it, and I feel like I'm doing it every year, this is just going to get better and better. The main thing is I know I've got really good brake fluid and a good clean braking system, which fluids is the lifeblood. It'll help it last. Look at that clean engine. We've got all the salt spray off, no other treatment, no oils to make anything stick. I didn't wash this down, so you can see every now and then it has had a bit of muddy water hit the fan and spray up. It's not too bad. I refrain from washing this because it's just going to deteriorate. It's looking pretty good at nearly 20 years old, but I'd like to get the life out of it and not have to replace it, because it's probably going to be another at least a few $100. Someone can check the price on that if you want, put it in the comments. So I just wanted to say, no excuse if you're bringing your vehicle here to the Prado hospital to not bring it pristine clean like this, because this took me less than 5 minutes. A quick spray with a 2-litre pump up cheap container from Bunnings, a bit of that Kenko stuff, add about a quarter mix, light spray, keep it wet, spraying for 30 seconds, and then immediately, as soon as I put the sprayer down, pressure washer at a distance and just giving everything a good rinse off. And that's the key, give it a really good rinse off. You don't want to leave any degreaser behind. We quite often see places in around the engine bay, under the intercooler, and places where people have done this clean, but they've left degreaser stains running down on the block underneath the car. So make sure you put Not high pressure close to electronics, but plenty of water to rinse off your engine bay, regardless of what make or model it is. Some different precautions you need to be more careful than others. Petrol engines do not like any water anywhere near your spark plug, leads, coils, type of electronics, which is pretty obvious. So keep your pressure away from there. And if it's old and deteriorated, you could get some water in there. So a good time to wash a petrol engine is, if we're going to talk about petrol engines, let's have a look at a petrol engine, mate. Have a look at this one. So best time to wash a petrol engine. See, I'm an ideas man. This is why you don't want to miss stuff. So you're going to wash a petrol engine, and you might end up with some water down around the spark plugs, and then you might have to pull it all apart and clean the water out. That's the only way to get it out. It's not going to dry up. It's just going to condensate. It's going to seem like it comes good. It's going to go rusty in there. Not good. So this is what you need to do. The best time to wash a petrol engine is keep it clean, keep it out of the mud. When it comes around for spark plugs, go, okay, look, I've got to do the spark plugs. Where are they? Now, these coils I speak of here, top of the coil there, there's another one. Let's get in and have a closer look, right? It's a coil pack. It's got coil per cylinder. It's got a plug on it. That gets told what to do. It goes kaboom, right? What does a coil do? It converts 12 volts up to how many thousand volts? Put it in the comments. It's held in with usually 1 or 2 bolts. See that bolt there? Right, could be that, probably just that one. Sometimes there's a different setup, but in this case, straightforward. Carefully you undo that plug, you take that bolt out and just gently wiggle and pull, and generally they'll come out. I'm going to recommend putting molly coat on the rubbers so they don't get too stuck, and that'll help keep any moisture out of there and probably help the rubber and everything last a bit longer, because the heat deteriorates things like that. That's why they don't last forever. That's one of the negatives of a petrol engine. We're not here to talk about whether a petrol or diesel's better, but if you're going to wash down your petrol engine, everything in the engine bay here is fairly waterproof these days, even your computers over here. But I would avoid putting high pressure water near electronic components, especially those. Doesn't mean you can't wet them, just don't go direct hardcore, just like you wouldn't go with a pressure washer into the back of this plug, these wires, things like that. You probably wouldn't have an issue, but don't do it. Blow it dry when you're done, and don't leave the engine running. Some people think, oh, you got to just leave the engine running. You don't. Look, I probably talked about it in the how to wash the engine videos. Point is, let's say 40,000 Ks you're due for spark plugs. That's when you give your engine bay a really good wash down. You blow it dry, you park it close to your workshop area in case it doesn't start again, and hopefully it does start again and it doesn't run rough. And if it does, when you bring it into your workshop area, or if you've got to work on it where it is because you filled the whole thing up with water and all your spark plugs are full of water and it's running like a V8 on 4 cylinders, what are you going to do? You're going to pull it apart anyway, and you can have a look for yourself. Is there any water in there? Okay, so I'm okay to do that next time. I can do this once a year without changing the spark plugs. It's how you learn and work out what is acceptable. If you stick the pressure washer down in here, say I'm pointing it about there where my finger is, it's probably going to force with pressure water down there. It's going to hit the valve cover. It's going to spray in different directions straight underneath the bottom of that coil. Even though there's a seal there, it's probably going to push some in there. It may cause a problem then, it might not. It could happen later, because like I said, it's going to condensate, and that's when it becomes a problem. The hot engine, and then all the moisture goes on everything in there. Older cars with the plastic on the coil pack, right, where the stem goes down, they get little cracks in them, and then the moisture gets through. And can you imagine a component that's converting 12 volts into a very high voltage? Because I can't tell you, because it varies, and I don't know what it is because I can't remember. And you just put it in the comments, right? Imagine being the component that does that, but you've got water and moisture to deal with as well. It only takes a drop or two of water and it can cause all sorts of problems. So I recommend your washing would be done up here from a distance, just on the surface, kind of like getting rid of the dust, let the water run off, it'll be fine. Be very careful if you're going to point anything down here. I'll be doing it from a distance no closer than up here like this, just a quick sweeping motion around, give it a good rinse off, but I wouldn't be getting down there close trying to wash off any oil leaks or anything like that. Pull it apart, pull the valve cover off, change the valve cover gasket, and then give it a good clean up, then, and make sure your spark plugs are in, and then blow it all dry and put your coils in and clean and dry with your molly coat, and bada bing, you get it. You can't have water in there. That's what's going to give you grief. It's going to run rough. Told you it wouldn't be a short video. Anyway, I've yacked enough. Until the next one, if you subscribe with the bell on with more info coming your way, talk to you then. Other than that, bingo bango, eat a mango.